Director General, Defence Space Agency. We also extend a warm and hearty welcome to Mr. Mahavir Singhvi, IFS, Joint Secretary, New Emerging and Strategic Technologies. A very warm and hearty welcome to Dr. Subbarao Pavuluri, President, SIA India. Also joining us on stage this morning is Shri Anil Prakash, Director General, SIA India. A warm and hearty welcome to all the esteemed dignitaries who have joined us on the days. May I first request Dr. Subbarao Pavuluri to kindly do us the honors of presenting a bouquet and a shawl to the honored dignitaries, and please welcome them. Our warmest welcome to Dr. Ajay Kumar, former Secretary, Ministry of Defence. It's an honor to have you here with us, sir, and a very warm welcome to you. We extend a warm and hearty welcome to Air Vice Marshal Pavan Kumar, VM, Director General, Defence Space Agency. It's an honor and a privilege to welcome you here in our midst, sir. A warm and hearty welcome to our esteemed guest, Mr. Mahavir Singhvi, IFS, Joint Secretary, New Emerging and Strategic Technologies, that is NEST. A very warm welcome to our honored guest, Barao, to kindly give his opening remarks.
Good morning and namaskar. Sir, now we are into the third day of our seminar, Defense Satellite. Distinguished Dr. Ajay Kumar ji, the former Secretary of Defense, Mr. Mahavir Singh ji, IFS, Joint Secretary, New Emerging and Strategic Technologies, NEST, Air Vice Marshal Pawan Kumar, DGPSA, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you all to the third day. I know third day is being very heavy on every one of us. So, but still we find many people around here. Welcome you all. Thank you. So just to narrate what happened, for those who were not present yesterday and the day before. So we had interesting sessions on satellite usage in the defense sector, particularly in terms of how the satellites will be made use of, in terms of various intelligence gathering and things like that. So therefore we had sessions like what is unmeasured intelligence, multi-sensor payloads and military platform is one. And the second one is space-enabled precision and deep battles. And the third one was collaborative frontiers, synergizing the defense innovation ecosystem. And the fourth one was redefining aerospace, near space and sovereign space sovereign. So these were the things that we had in the first day. And the sessions that we had in the second day, on 8th, that yesterday were very interesting again. Industrial space war game. That was initialized completely by General Ponnu sir and General Ponnu and General Kandare organized that so well. And in terms of any scenario, what would be the industry's response? So that was simulated, and we had industry, defense representatives, and just to say that various how the industry responds to that. That was emphasized and it was done very well yesterday. And in fact, all this will give rise to many recommendations that we put forth to the government very soon on this. And the other panel discussion was on smart satellites for defense. And the third one, the last one was yesterday, equation process for military grade space assets. In fact, this is something which was very interesting yesterday. And sir, I will come back with the reports on this. And today, this is an inaugural session. We are going to deal with space warfare, that's the space deterrence and space domination. And the second one is going to be communication strategies for modern military operations. and the contested and EW environment. The third one is going to be managing space control on Mosaic C2, enabled by effective ground infrastructure. And the fourth one is going to be on the catalyzing the national industrial capabilities for space and defense. So that way we try to cover as many as possible during these last 3 days. And I'm sure everybody not only assimilated the discussions, but something action coming out of that will be presented very soon, sir. Thank you very much. Welcome you all again.
Kindly address the August gathering. Please welcome with an applause.
Thank you, Dr. Subbarao. Dignitaries on the dais, former Defense Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar, Air Vice Marshal Pawan Kumar, Dr. Subbarao, Mr. Anil Prakash. It's a great pleasure for me to be present here today uh, for this very important conference, which is DevSec 2024, which is primarily focused on the theme of building defense space capabilities for the future. And I think this is something which is very important given the leaps which we are making in the space frontier. And particularly in an era where boundaries between terrestrial and extraterrestrial domains are becoming increasingly blurred, it is imperative for any nation to secure its interests not only on the ground but also in the vast expanse of space. And in that context, I think this conference is going to be very, very important and relevant. Let me tell you something about a new division which was created in the Ministry of External Affairs just 2 years back, and it has started functioning a couple of months back. It's called New Emerging and Strategic Technologies Division. Many of you may not be aware of this because it's a new creation in MEA. And the purpose of this division was to see that we strengthen our role as a determinant player, particularly in the technological field. And we are engaged in a host of technology diplomacy, tech diplomacy as it is called. We are also engaged in the tech governance issues at international level, particularly with many aspects of, if you look at artificial intelligence, it's being discussed everywhere now. So we are also involved in that to some extent. So this is a division which has been created primarily to facilitate our international cooperation in various new emerging and strategic technology areas, including artificial intelligence, quantum, space, green hydrogen, defense technologies, and so on. So we have been working, and one of the initiatives perhaps you all must be familiar with is which we had. In fact, it was steered by National Security Council Secretariat, but we have also been providing our inputs into that, and that's ISET, and I'm sure you all must be familiar with that. I have been approached some time back by Mr. Anil Prakash, and he told me about the activities which the Space Association of India is doing, and in that context, I thought it would be appropriate for all of us to engage with this and to see that we, especially our missions, get idea of where we are, what are we doing, and what are our capabilities. So, in that context, we have, in fact, you must be, I'm not sure whether you are aware or not, that, but many of our missions are connected and watching this conference. So, this is something which we have done, and I'm sure this will go a long way in especially creating capability in our missions officials to actually about the capabilities which we have so that they can engage with their foreign interlocutors from time to time in this. So, in fact, in the last decade, as you all know, India has taken significant strides in the development of the space sector. This has been further strengthened by space policy, which was launched in 2023, and which outlines the government's vision for the Indian space sector in the coming years. And the policy has taken a more liberal approach and has opened up the sectors to increase participation from non-government entities, private sector through the space economy value chain. And it has also defined the role of various stakeholders, including INSpace, ISRO, NSIL, and DOS. And as per the decadal strategy and vision for space, India envisioned to become a dominant space player, which accelerates India's growth through space applications on Earth, strengthening capabilities in space, create socio-economic benefits and capabilities for growth. In addition, in the interim budget, which was just recently was presented, the government has announced additional boost to the development of the space sector. On the back of our efforts, an investment of US dollar 22 billion is envisaged in the next 10 years. And in addition, India's space sector is expected to reach the size of US dollar 44 billion, contributing to about 8 to 10% of the global space economy by 2020-23, along with the export share of US dollar 11 billion in the next 10 years. And this is clearly a point of inflection for India, and these figures clearly tells the kind of opportunities that lies ahead. So, in addition to a forward-looking space policy, India has also pioneered many multilateral and bilateral engagement that can go a long way in building our defense space capabilities for the future. And some of these initiatives, one I just mentioned is US-India initiative on critical and emerging technology, which apart from focusing on strengthening the bilateral commercial space partnership, also lays stress on skilling and STEM talent exchange. Comprehensive strategic partnerships we also have with many other countries, including Japan, Australia, France, among others, and where defense and space forms a very important component of our partnership. We have also signed Artemis Accord in June 2023. This is a testament of our commitment to sustainable and transparent space activities and safeguarding space from long-term and short-term threats and strengthening space global governance. So there are many efforts which are being taken, and building space capabilities for the future also requires basically has two aspects: securing space during times of war and protecting space capabilities, which will become more vulnerable in the times to come. And we therefore need a new energy to enable India to become a leader in both the use of the space for defense and defense of the space, as the core space infrastructure will be involved in both these scenarios. Globally, as you know, space technologies are developing at an exponential rate, revolutionizing military affairs with breakthroughs in directed energy weapons, hypersonic glide vehicles, reusable launch vehicles, in-orbit refueling and maintenance, and co-orbital applications, IoT constellations in low Earth orbit, quantum communications, and so on. With all these developments, the challenges of the industry particularly has also increased, and those are particularly related to technology transfers and export control, licensing, data localization policies, trade disputes, tariffs, so and so on. And I think our success would depend on how well we are able to provide solutions to these challenges. Building defense space capabilities for the future would also necessitate significant financial outlays, research and development, and sophisticated skills to close capability gaps. So I think this is imperative that both public and private sector come together and invest in research, development, and innovation to fortify our defense space capabilities. And this would involve the creation of resilient satellite systems, securing communication networks, and cutting-edge technologies to counter emerging threats. As I mentioned, over the years, India has made significant strides in developing international cooperation with like-minded nations to share intelligence, best practices, and technology, and has also pioneered various cutting-edge policies for building a collaborative defense space ecosystem for the future that not only strengthens our national security but also contribute to global peace and security. And I think it is now for the industry to further deepen and leverage our existing ties, collaborations, and policies. At the Ministry of External Affairs, I can tell you that we'll be very happy to assist all the stakeholders in all possible way in strengthening and building a collaborative defense space ecosystem for the future. Thank you very much for inviting me here.